I've gotten over 100 requests for making this video, and today we're finally going to break down the Town Hall 14 Strategic Rushing Guide. However, since there are two phases of Town Hall 14, we are going to be breaking this guide into two different videos. The first one is going to be about the first few weeks of Town Hall 14 and how to become a strong Town Hall 14. That is the video today. And the second one is going to be about how to finally take your strategically rushed account and max it as fast as possible, and that is going to be coming out in a few days. First things first, before we get started, congratulations on getting to Town Hall 14. This is not a simple task, whether you're rushing or maxing, and honestly I think you should be really proud of yourself for pushing yourself to finally get here. Now let's go ahead and get started with the guide. On day one, there are some key upgrades that you need to be making in order to be efficient in your Town Hall 14 progress. The first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you hammer the CC. This is great hammer value, and this is the first thing that you should be doing. Now, if you're in Clan War Leagues, you can book the laboratory. If not, then it's just better for you to upgrade the laboratory manually. However, it should be one of your very first upgrades. Now, put down your Warden with your excess elixir, and put down your Queen with the dark elixir that you have. If you have any books, you want to put it towards the Queen, and I'm going to explain that a little bit later in the Heroes section. Now, on the first day, it's really going to depend on how many magic items that you have, but get as many levels of the pet house done as possible. It would be really amazing if you had all of your pets, because it's immediately going to give you a big offensive advantage, and that's exactly what we're aiming for with these pet house upgrades. And now with the few remaining builders that you have, what you want to do is actually upgrade your builder hut to level 2. Now this may come as a shock to a lot of you. BD, we're doing a defense first? Well, yes, because when you upgrade your builder hut from level 1 to level 2, from a useless building to a level 13 archer tower with the ability to heal, this is a very big defensive upgrade. In fact, this is the biggest sole defensive upgrade in all of Town Hall 14 in terms of DPS. So this is a very important upgrade. You're just going to upgrade it to level 2. You don't need to max them, but get that first upgrade out of the way, and all of a sudden you have 5 more archer towers on your base. So now that we've gotten the first day upgrades out of the way, let's talk about what you're going to continue doing that week and in the first few weeks of Town Hall 14. Now, as always, we're going to be focusing on those offensive upgrades, but guys, it's a really nice thing that there isn't that many upgrades. Now, we don't have any army camp levels to do. We don't have any barracks levels to do. We have already done the CC and the laboratory. So now the only things you really have to upgrade is storages. The first storage that you want to do is your dark elixir storage, and the reason for this is kind of clear. The amount of dark elixir that you have to have in Town Hall 14 is absolutely crazy. Players have quit over the sole fact that they have so much dark elixir farming to do. Even I quit earlier just because I had so much dark elixir that I needed to farm. So get your dark elixir storage to the max level. Also, if you haven't finished your builder hut level 2 upgrades yet, make sure you do all of those. You want to make sure that all of those are done as you're moving into your storages. Now, there is a key building that we need to talk about, and that is the Siege Workshop. Personally, I know that the Siege Workshop is an elixir and an offensive upgrade, but I honestly don't think it's that important. Usually we don't use those later siege machines anyway, and you can just get them from your clan. So I would say hold off on the Siege Workshop unless you absolutely need to upgrade it. And you can do it before your defenses, but it is not an absolute priority. So these are the main building upgrades that you needed to get done before you move on to defenses. But before we talk about defenses and the lab, why don't we go ahead and talk a little bit about heroes and pet upgrades. So if you thought the guide was easy so far, you're gonna have to think again, because the hardest part about Town Hall 14 is the heroes and the pets. Now, there's not a lot of hero levels, but there are a lot of pet levels, and no matter what you do, unless you use books on pets, which is really inefficient, you will have to wait 210 days to go ahead and max your pet house. That is a very long time. However, I have some very useful tips for you that is going to make this a lot easier. The first thing is that any books you have should be immediately put on the Queen. This is going to make sure that your Queen gets her levels out of the way, and having one dark elixir hero maxed is a very useful thing because you don't need to farm for that dark elixir hero anymore. My recommendation is to have 2 heroes down in the beginning, the Queen and the Grand Warden. If your Queen is done, if you had a lot of books or whatever, whatever, then I would do the King and the Grand Warden. And the reason for this is simple. In the first few levels for the pet house, the pets actually don't take that long to upgrade, but they cost a lot of dark elixir. That means you're gonna have to continuously farm more and more dark elixir as those pets continuously finish leveling up, and that's going to be a lot for you. That's the reason I'm only recommending one dark elixir hero while you're getting your pets started. It's gonna be very difficult for you to do it in any other way. If you go through these upgrades the way I'm telling you, by the time you have your Queen and your Grand Warden maxed, your pets should be at a decent level, maybe level 2, 3, and at that point they're going to be taking longer to upgrade, which is going to give you more time to get the dark elixir that you need. After you get your Warden done, try doing one pet at a time, and then after that doing your King and your Royal Champion to the best of your ability. It is not going to be easy, however it is easier considering that you did the Queen and the Grand Warden in the beginning. Also, never use any books on the Warden simply because you need those books to get those expensive dark elixir upgrades out of the way. The Warden, you don't mind if he sits there because there's not a lot of elixir upgrades at Town Hall 14 anyways, so you would rather be putting that elixir and time into the Grand Warden upgrades. So now that we've talked about heroes and pets, honestly the second thing that people ask me the most about on my channel is lab upgrades. To be honest, there isn't a definitive lab upgrade guide, not even in T's document where he breaks down everything for strategic rushing. And it's fair because there's no definitive guideline of what you should upgrade. However, I do have some recommendations. The first thing is that because we're farming so much dark elixir, you need to ensure that your farming army is ready to go. So hopefully that's sneaky goblins because they're really efficient. You need to make sure that whatever your farming army is, that is maxed out immediately. The second thing is you want to make sure you have one good army, right? So one good war army that you can use during CWL to get yourself some medals, whether that's Electro Dragons or maybe you spend some time at Town Hall 13 with Hybrid. Whatever the case is, you want to make sure that you at least have one good war army that is maxed out. After that, you can honestly go ahead and upgrade any army composition that you really want to upgrade. I'm just going to let you know that I actually can't break all of this down in terms of my recommended army compositions in a single video. This video would be way too long, so I am going to make a video in the future about it. If you don't want to miss that, make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, so at this point, you've probably already spent maybe a month in Town Hall 14. You've gotten your offensive buildings done, you're working on your heroes, you're working on your lab, and now you're gonna shift into core defenses. Now, the Town Hall itself is actually a pretty important defense. It's gonna differentiate you from a Town Hall 13, so it is important to upgrade that Town Hall. Plus, the upgrades are not super long, especially the first few levels. I'd recommend getting into that as early as you can. And those of you who have been watching the channel, have been following along in the guides, you already know that we have to upgrade the Eagle, the Scatters, the Infernos, the big upgrades, right? The Expos would be after that, then the air defenses. You have to upgrade in that order. However, I want to add a little caveat on this. I don't want you to do any of those upgrades manually. That is right, I don't want you to wait for any of those upgrades. They are way too long. I want you to use magic items on them. And now if you're wondering, well, what am I even going to upgrade if I've gotten to this point and I'm not going to upgrade my core defenses? Well, this is where I'm making that second video, because that second video is going to give you the key detail that is going to allow you to max 10 times faster than any of these other players who are using any other strategies, and that is what is going to make the big difference. However, even if you're not ready for that next video and you watch this video and you don't understand something, I would highly recommend you go ahead and check out this video right here where I broke down my first day in Town Hall 14 and exactly the upgrades that I made as well as why I made them.